Okay, do you guys just want to go in that order then? No?
I don't want to go first.
Oh, well, I'll go first.
You can go first.
Then you want to go second?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about recruiting. All right, so this is the first thing. I mean, I truly, truly love to mentor people. So when I'm teaching people how to recruit, the first thing I ask them is, who are you looking for? I feel so many times when if I talk to someone that's not my personally enrolled or maybe on a different team, sometimes they're like, I don't know who to look for. I don't know who to look for. So you remember when we were younger and we used to like kind of order our boyfriends like pizzas? Like, I need like a 6'4", like tall, dark, and handsome, blue eyes, drives a truck kind of thing, right? Okay. So I literally do the exact same thing when I'm looking for my potentials. There are qualities that I want to see in them. And a lot of times I'm looking for me's, but I think it's really important to look for a specific type of person that you want, because then it kind of, you can zone in on them, okay? So qualities that I like to look for. I like to look for spontaneity. Like if you're jumping off of cliffs, I probably want you on my team, all right? Because you can jump. I want people that are not afraid to take selfies. I want people that are a little bit vain, I guess, because it's hard to teach confidence in this business. And so if I find someone that's already putting themselves out on social media, then it's a lot easier for the whole like attraction marketing and everything else. Communication. So I think that it's important. Social media is, we've probably all seen it. We've probably all seen, people join with like 300 friends and not very active on social media. And they see that social media is such a huge outlet in this business, and they kind of just don't do much with it because they're not used to being on social media all the time. So I definitely look for people that are always on social media and that are interacting with their people, like if they're commenting or anything like that, that are interacting back. These are things that it's so much easier not to have to teach them, because I really, really, really go for quality. But I think it's important to kind of look for people. I just think I've always thought it's important to me for at least to look for people, look for a specific type of person, and that way it's just easy for me to communicate with them. So when it comes to like actually like bringing up the opportunity, something that I recently just started doing, and it has been working amazing, and it is kind of tedious, but there are people right now that I will talk to every single day that aren't on my team yet, and I haven't even asked them to be on my team yet. So and I'm sure people already do this, but I just haven't done it before. So I will find something about somebody and I will get to know I want to know, there's this one girl, I just ordered different eyelashes because she has different eyelashes, and now we're talking about makeup, and we have literally been talking for 5 days about all her stuff, just her, and now I'm going to bring up the opportunity. So it's I'm she's almost like we've created this friendship already where we're just talking about things, but I've been doing that with a couple girls, and I want to buy a Jeep. I found this really cute girl. She's in Tennessee. She has a Jeep, and I'm like, okay, so I'm asking her about her Jeep. I'm just asking her well, can you take a couple pictures of the inside? I'm asking about her Jeep. We've been talking on and off for 2 days, but it's that's a communication that our communication barrier has been broken, and I'm able to she's more so going to trust me. So what all should we talk about? Should we just talk about messaging and what we look for, or what else? Is there anything in the chat? What else should we talk about? This is another one too. So I know that some people work both Instagram and Facebook. Something that I have just has been so much easier for me is I go from back and forth. So this month I'm on Facebook and next month I'm on Instagram, because I truly think that they are two different worlds. But when I'm on Instagram, it's like a dating website for me, because I cannot stand the 150 characters. I can't do the fact that they can't hear me, see me, or read statuses, because it's on my Facebook, you actually know who I am. So I literally always bring anyone from Instagram to Facebook. If I'm gonna message anyone on Instagram or interact with anyone on Instagram, I'm bringing them right to Facebook, because Facebook, they can see me. Also on Facebook, since if you look at my Facebook, you can tell, Lachelle is sarcastic. Lachelle is pretty much out there. Lachelle is a little abrasive, all these things. So when it comes to messaging, because people always ask me, what do I say? I'm going to tell you exactly what I say. I say, hey girl, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm not even kidding you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, is it about it works? And I'm like, yeah, because I already put myself out there as Lachelle It Works. So like, it's almost like they kind of know it's coming. And I mean, I'm also, and I don't recommend doing this, but because I already put myself out there as just like this funny, like kind of like sarcastic girl, like if people don't respond to me, I'm every single time I screenshot that little thing that says seen, and I'll send it to them like, I can see that you read this, right? And then they laugh, or I'll send like a GIF or something, and I just keep the conversation going. But I just think that it's important to, I think that we all know this already, we're presidential, but putting yourself out there so that when you are messaging someone, they kind of already know who they're talking to. That's the biggest advice I have, because especially with voice messaging too, like if people don't, there's been times where I voice message people like 10 times, and it's just like, girl, like remember that one time that you just got 200 likes in your photo again? So you should probably be doing what I do. So, and I'll just send them little affirmations like that. But I always like to keep it funny. I need funny people in my life. Cool. Connor, you want to go next? Where I'm finding them? Oh, I'll tell you that too. So hashtags. I love hashtags on Instagram. That's my dating website for distributors, I swear. So I love hashtags on Instagram, and I do hashtags that remind me of me, like hashtag Starbucks. I find everyone from hashtag, like all my people are hashtag Starbucks, or hashtag Yorkie Mom, or hashtag sarcastic. Those are like me things. And then I bring them to Facebook. Also, I just do this too. I go to Starbucks on Facebook, but like right now I really want to find somebody in Alaska. And so I'm going to like all the Starbucks in Alaska, and like people that like or check in there, I'm adding them as friends. That's how I find them.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you kind of touched a bit on what I do. Well, not all of it, but like the quality thing. I have a list. I can't remember who told me this. It was a few months ago, like back in November. And I have like a list on my paper of traits I want in people to have on my team. Like I don't want lazy people. I don't want boring people. I don't want pessimistic people. And so like my list of traits is like positive, trustworthy, hardworking, confident, because I just feel like that law of attraction. Another thing I do, let me see what the questions are. There's not that many. I work both Facebook and Instagram. Lachelle, I already mentioned you can go every other month, but I do both every single day because I just really like to build relationships, and I feel like my Instagram is a lot busier for me than my Facebook lately. My Facebook was really busy building up to presidential, but I was building my Instagram at the same time, which was nice because then my Instagram started taking off. And also hashtags, I feel like are a huge thing. My Instagram used to be private, and then I went public, and I feel like that has helped so much because girls have found me through my hashtags. And the first thing I do when someone messages me on Instagram, like a potential, is I get their number. I don't keep that conversation going on Instagram. I want their number, and I want it in my phone. So, because you can go on Instagram and they can just ignore me. Well, they could ignore me text too, but I just feel like getting their number is much more personal, and I don't have to worry about them not seeing my Instagram message because I don't always see mine. What other questions do you guys have? So I'm not just rambling.
Maybe like where you find people, how long you wait to interact, kind of like your message structure, how you interact maybe.
Okay, so Brett said you reach out everyone who's like Brett. Yes, I usually do. I know some people are against that, but for me, it's like if they're interacting on my posts or liking one of my business posts or product posts, I'm reaching out to them. And 9 times out of 10, I have found that they do want info on the business, but they are expecting us to reach out to them. So, I mean, every now and then I'll get the people who are like, no, I just liked your post. I'm kind of like, well, don't like my post then. But no, I reach out to them every single time, and I just keep it simple. And a lot of times before I message them, like after they've liked my post, I go and kind of check out their profile. And like, I see if they're a mom, or I see if they're a college student, or, you know, I see if they're like in the makeup industry or the hair industry, because I kind of want to know who I'm messaging before I message them. That way, like with moms, I can relate to a lot more because I'm a mom myself, and so I can just be like, hey, you know, I noticed you liked my post, and I also see that you're a mom. You know, what do you do for work? Have you ever been interested in making some extra money? And a lot of time that opens up that conversation of, well, what do you do for your job and how are you making money? And then I get the opportunity to tell them what I'm doing. What else did I say? Dealing the deal. Like I said, I get their number. I usually find out, why are they interested in this business? Because then if they start to ignore me, I can be like, hey, remember when you told me that you wanted more money or you wanted to have a different job so you could stay at home with your daughter? Well, it works is that, your vehicle making that happen. And I can kind of dig into their why. And usually when you can dig into their why more, it gets them like, oh yeah, I did tell her that I wanted to stay home with my daughter more. Oh yeah, I'm sick of missing out on my kids' events. And so I like to find out their why, like first right away as to why they even want to start making extra money. Hold on, honey. Let's just leave it there. Also, if they do start to ignore me, like with that whole stealing deal thing, because I'll get girls all the time who are like, okay, I'm ready to sign up. And then it's like cricket. Like I did that to Carrie like 10 different times before I finally signed up. I will just be like totally blunt with them and be like, hey, are you alive? Like, did you get ate by zombies? Or like, did you get abducted? Like, what's going on? Are you still there? Why are you ignoring me? Or I'll just simply say, hey, did I offend you? Because almost every single time I say that, they respond to me. I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, you were interested in this business at one point. Why aren't you interested now? Or what's holding you back? Because I can guarantee you that I have the same things holding me back as well. And so I just really like to get on that personal level and find out what's holding them back and why they want to join. For growing my friends on Instagram, being public, I don't know. Stacey, is that what you meant? Where is she? Yeah, okay. I used to be private because I felt like when I was private and I didn't have a lot of followers yet, I could go follow a bunch of people or interact on people's pages, and then they'd come to my page and see that I'm private. So then they'd want to follow me because they're like, well, who is this girl commenting on my stuff? I want to see what she's all about. So then they'd end up requesting to follow me, and I'd accept it. But then I started playing around with the public deal as my followers got larger, and I've come to find that I like being public a whole lot more because with the hashtags, you can reach people everywhere being private too, but with hashtags, like I said, people are like coming to me through my hashtags. Like I was hashtagging things about Arizona a few weeks ago since we're going there for the boot camp next week, and I have 2 potentials now from like Scottsdale area because they found me through like hashtagging like Scottsdale shopping or stuff like that. So that's kind of how I built being public and through my hashtag. What else?
I have something to add too.
What?
I can add something too after you're done.
Yeah, no, go ahead and add it. I was going to answer Brandy's question, but go ahead.
I mean, I'm just assuming a lot of these things, okay? Because I don't know how some people keep track of your potentials, but I can totally upload this. It's super, super simple. You guys might have watched my OC Triple Diamond training, but until Mark Zuckerberg puts file tabs in the messages, I have to write everything down. And so I literally have every single person I've ever talked to, and I put follow-up columns, and I put like little spark notes about them to just so that when I look at their name, I got a lot of Jennifers. So when I look at this Jennifer, I know that she lives in Washington, and I know that she has 24,000 friends, and it's like little things like that so that I can keep track of it. And I have follow-up columns that I put dates next to, so I know when I followed up with them. So I'm not like, obviously I have over 200 people that I'll follow up with. So I need to make sure I know the date so that when I go through and I only do half or a quarter of it, that the next follow-up day that I just take time to follow up, that I know not to follow up with them again. Also, I saw something else I want to talk to you about. So somebody asked about scripts. I will tell you this, okay? I do not use scripts at all. What I like to do is I'll look at scripts and I will ask myself how to make that sound like Lachelle. And it's just something that I just like really want to just reiterate sometimes to people, because I swear people have said this to me, okay? And I like to start it with like, hey girl, I got a question, or hey, I got to talk to you about something. And I have had people respond to me too many times. Are you going to ask me to be on your dream team? And I know people use that script, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I see so much potential in this person, and I like for real want them on my team, but they've already been asked by somebody, and it's like they could have got them if they didn't use that freaking script. It's like, and so many times too, you know, when I do see like messages sometimes that are just posted to some of the pages about like scripts about like taking advantage of BOGO and stuff like that, I feel like, you know, think about the other side. And it's just a reminder too. It's just a reminder, you know, think about the other side. Like, I mean, what would you think if you got that message? I just think that scripts are, I think it's big on energy too. When I'm in a conversation with somebody, I feel like they know if I'm actually talking to them, if I'm just copying and pasting. And that's just like a friendly reminder because I'm always in the conversation. Like in the
way. I like the idea of scripts, like give me that idea in my head so I know like how to tweak it to my own. But a lot of times all my potentials that I'm talking with, I like to know, like how I mentioned, I like to find out what they are, like are they a mom, like what do they do for work, that type of thing. So I can, you know, because then when they ask me questions, like, because a lot of times I'll get people who will say, you know, be honest with me, with like, what was this, or was it hard to do this, that. And I'll just be straight up and honest with them, and they like that a whole lot more than hearing some, you know, word for word scripted message as a response. So they'd rather hear you being real and honest. And I feel like that has been a big thing for me on how I'm feeling the deal with people, is just being straightforward and honest with them and not giving them something that somebody else has already put together.
I think it's super important too. This is another thing I just looked down on my piece of paper and I saw this. An affirmation. So because everybody likes to be affirmated, but I write an affirmation next to their name. Like a lot of times like BF just stands for big following. So when I go to their Facebook, like their last photo is going to have over 200 likes on it. Things like already a stay-at-home mom. So I just put like STAHM. So they're already a stay-at-home mom, and a lot of times I feel like stay-at-home moms get nervous to do this business, but like really they could be doing this business. Like it's just like that stereotype where like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I should do network marketing, and they get like all stereotyped with it. But I'll just like reiterate to them, like, you're always on social media, you're already a stay-at-home mom. But having that affirmation noted, here's the thing, when you affirmate someone, every single time they see your notification or see your post, they're going to rethink, well, she did say this to me, whatever. So then when I go to follow up with her, I know to follow up with them, including that affirmation. Like I always want to continue to affirmate them. Okay, I'm done.
Claire, want to go?
I didn't know if you were done. I didn't want to like jump in if you were done. Okay, so I was just like kind of reading through some of the questions. Oh, there's a new long one too. But I've just been kind of reading through some of the questions and jotting down a couple of answers, because a lot of, like, obviously a lot of this stuff is kind of similar. But basically the number one way that I've been enrolling distributors specifically has just been, I am kind of maybe different than a lot of people, and I go a little more mysterious as far as what company I'm with. And I mean, it's obvious to anyone who's at all familiar with It Works once you look at my profile that I'm with It Works, but I'm not putting It Works in like any of my posts. Like I'm not really mentioning the company that I'm with. I'm just saying like my company or my business, or I work from social media. Like I'm super vague. Just because, unfortunately, from a lot of the scripts, a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth. Obviously, we all know it, you know, about It Works. And so I try to keep a little more mystery in my posts and stuff. And so I'm a little more just talking about this business that has changed my life, or what I do working from home. And so I get a lot of questions of just like, well, what do you do? But the number one way that I'm enrolling is, you have got, like, if there's anything, like if you're busy or crazy busy, stuff, tons of stuff is going on. Like I tell this to my team all the time, like if you can't do any other thing for your business today, you've got to add to your network. Like that has to be the thing that never gets sacrificed, because I always have new potentials coming in the door, because I always have new people coming in the door, because I always have new people on my friends list. I will not accept friend requests from other It Works distributors, because I want room for my potentials. And pretty soon I'm going to do another clean out, because I've noticed that I've gotten a lot that have like slipped in. But I'm just like I add 20 to 30 people on Facebook every day, and then I'm adding the max on Instagram all the time. Instagram, I'm a little more anal of like keeping who I'm following way down, just because I like that better. And right now Facebook is like my number one. Like that's really where my main focus is. I work Instagram. I have a lot of potentials on Instagram, but Facebook is like my main focus. It's like my main, I don't know, it's like my wheelhouse. And it really spoke out to me at conference when Brandon Walsh just basically said, like, find what you're good at, and that's where you put your focus. Like, think about your business, and 90% of what you've built, like, where did that come from? And that's where you need to put all your energy. And for me, it's Facebook. That's always been, like, my most successful platform. And so that's where I really like keep my focus. But yeah, just adding tons of people. And then for me, like I'll oftentimes just throw up a status. It's just like, hey, I'm looking for 5 girls to make money, make $500 extra a month from home. Like those statuses, you guys have seen them around. Or like yesterday, I just put up a selfie and I was like, I'm just looking for 2 more people who want to make money from social media. That's it. And I'm in like 10 new conversations just from that one post of people who are just like, okay, tell me about how you make money from social media. Everybody is on social media, and so for us to just tell them like I have a way for you to make money from social media, and I also like I get bold with it. Like people will comment, for example, like in local groups that I'm in. I'm really big on joining local Facebook groups, and people will say in there like, does anyone know someone who's hiring? Please no direct sales. They'll flat out just say, please no direct sales. I comment and all I say is, hey, I make 6 figures from my smartphone. Message me if you're interested. I don't care that they said they don't want to do direct sales. I want to change their mind about direct sales. So I'll get like a ton of replies to my comment of people who are just like, message me, message me, message me, and like just tons of people. And then I'll spend all day. And what I'll do to those people is I'll just message them and I'll say, hey girl, you're interested in making money from home? And they'll always be like, yeah, will you give me more info? And I'll always just say, can I send you a voice message? It's the first thing I always say. And then I just shoot them. It's usually like just under a minute, and it's just a voice message of my story. I do not mention it works in this voice message. All I say is that I'm a stay-at-home mom with 4 little kids who's looking for a way to make extra money. I had a friend who was posting on social media about a business, and she was completely changing her life, taking trips in cash. Like I just give examples of, you know, how I could see that she was being successful. And then I just say like, and so I just wondered if this could be what I could do too. I wanted more time with my husband. And then, yeah, I just kind of share my story and I say, you know, now we make 6 figures all from my smartphone. My husband's retired. We live in our dream location, blah, 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 blah. Just give like the whole list. And then I say, you know, I'm just super passionate about sharing this with others. So let me know what questions you have and we'll see if this is a good fit for you. And they always come back like, oh my gosh, you know, tell me more. That would be so amazing. And then typically they're going to say, well, what company is this? And at that point, I voice message them and say, well, it's It Works Global. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And then I just share about our products. I do not mention the wrap at this point either. I say, you know, we have essential oils, we have skincare, like all the things that they probably don't naturally associate with It Works. Those are the things I'm bringing to the surface. Those are the things I bring up first. Because some people might not see themselves selling wraps. Maybe they don't feel confident about their body. Maybe they don't feel like, you know, health and wellness is the right genre for them. So I want to make sure they know what a wide range of products we have. And I always say our company pays out more in commissions monthly than any other direct sales company. Pam said that like a year ago or something. I don't know if it's like 100% factual, but Pam said it, so I feel okay saying it. And just reminding them of that. Because like, here's the thing, and because a lot of people will say, well, you know, I feel like Younique might be a better fit for me. I'm really into makeup or whatever. And I, of course, never bash other companies, but I always want to remind people, like, I have friends that are, like, killing it in Younique, and I know that they make nowhere near what I'm making. And so I'll just, like, be honest with them, like, are you looking for just something to do on the side, or are you looking for something to replace your full-time income? And I go crazy with them. Like, I'm not trying to give people unrealistic expectations, but I know that I can teach them to make a 6-figure income with this, and that's something that can really change somebody's life. Okay, that was kind of like a rabbit trail. But as far as like looking for my potentials, I'm really focused on people who are already kind of spending money on themselves. And I got this from Ashley Hughes, like from a training from her a while ago, but she basically said that she's focused on finding people who like buy makeup, people who are going to the gym all the time, things like that, because they have that little bit of extra money to spend on themselves. And just to be honest, like, I just feel like the longer that I'm in this business, the more I like don't have time for people that are like, that feel like they can't find that $99. Because here's the thing, like, my husband and I were broke as a joke. We were so broke before this business. Like, we literally made $30,000 a year for the first 8 years of our marriage with 4 kids. We made nothing. We were barely scraping by. But when this opportunity got put on my plate, I found that $99. I came up with it. Like, no problem, because I knew that this was going to change my life. And those are the kind of people, so like when Lachelle said she wants those people that are jumping off cliffs, she wants spontaneity, those people that are ready to take a risk, that's who I want too. I want people who are just like, well, I guess I'll find that 99. And Alyssa Billy is my enroller, and she told me about the auto ship before I signed up, and she was very like specific. She shared with me the whole ABB auto ship and everything. And I was sitting there and I was like, crap, I can barely come up with this $99 to start. I have no clue how I'm going to come up with another $100 next month to pay for an auto shipment, but I guess I better. Like, and that was the mindset I came into this business with, of like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to find that money. I'm just going to have to make it. And so those are the kind of people I want them to come in and be like, you know what? I'm just going to have to do it. I don't want them to come in and just try to figure out how they can turn off their auto shipment and turn off their website. I want people that are go-getters, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to go to the top with me. So I just feel like that comes with the longer that you're in, and the more people you enroll. That's another thing, is as you get confident with enrolling, and the more people you're enrolling, obviously I'm talking to a bunch of presidentials, like you all know this, but I just feel like the more confident you are and the more potentials you have, the less you care about people's excuses, because you're kind of just like, okay, time to move on to the next one. Like, you're not going to sit here trying to pull teeth with somebody, because I honestly don't have time for that. Like, I don't have time for you on my team. If you're going to sit there and be like, well, I don't think I can run the auction because X, Y, and Z. Do you care about your future? Like, do you care about your legacy? Do you care about changing your life? Like, that's kind of where I'm at, like where I've kind of come to. And so I feel like if somebody's giving me a lot of excuses, I'm just moving on. I'm not spending a lot of time with that. And then just another thing that's really helped me recently, especially, is just getting super bold with my clothes. And so I'm just like putting myself out there. Like, if somebody's kind of hemming and hawing and giving me excuses, but they really sound like they want to do it, I will just come at them and be like, so are you going to do this with me or not? Like, I just go for it, you know, and pretty quickly. And so that way, I've been able to turn a lot of distributors within 1 to 2 days just by being really bold and just being like, well, are we doing this or aren't we? And then definitely get the date from them. And I'm sure you guys all know, because it's been talked about, I think, on a lot of trainings, but those event reminders in Facebook Messenger are life. Like, those have changed everything for me, because a lot of times now my potentials are following up with me because they get the event reminder. And so then they check in with me and are like, oh yeah, okay, I'm ready. Another thing, because I saw people asking about scripts, I do text replacement in my phone and they're not scripts that I got from anywhere else. There's things that I've written that I typically say. So my response about what It Works Global is, I'm always trying to voice message that, but I always ask people if they have time to listen to a voice message, because you don't want to voice message somebody and they're not going to listen to it for the next 5 days because they're at work right now. So I always say, can I send you a voice message? And if they say no, you know, I have that written up, like my wording for what It Works Global is, and I have it in my phone just as what it is. So all I have to type is what it is and then press my text replacement, and boom, there's the whole paragraph. And so it saves me so much time. Things like that. So text replacement is like something that I've used a lot. And then I feel like there was a question in here that I was going to answer, and now I just want to make sure. Okay, from Nikki. I'm a typical Steps to Success girl, so the rest of us who aren't master enrollers looking for more meat. Like, how are you signing so many people? What are you saying? How are you closing? People in my world don't seem to jump so fast. I think one of the biggest things is you have to have enough potentials. You have to figure out what your ratio is, right? Like, I'm about 1 in 4. Like, 1 in every 4 people I talk to about the business are going to sign up. So that's something, you know, obviously you kind of figure out as you go. Like, I started out as 1 in 10 and I've worked up to 1 in 4, and I want 1 in every 1. I want every single person I talk to about the business to end up jumping in. But I think, so like, okay, if I need to sign 20 people, then I need to do 20 times 4. I need to have 80 strong potentials. And I'm not just talking to people that I'm talking to about the business. I'm talking 80 strong potentials. I know these people are going to sign. It's just a matter of when. So kind of figuring that out. Key in getting from 1 to 10 to 1 in 4 was my own confidence. Like 90% my own confidence. Like, you have to go into a conversation knowing that you have the best thing ever, and knowing and being confident that this person is going to be successful as long as they stick with you and listen to you and work this business. So it's just being confident. Yeah, never, like, here's the thing. I always say to people, like to my team, when I'm coaching my team about enrolling, I always say, okay, so there's 1 of 2 problems. Like, to help you figure out why you're not enrolling, let's go through like 2 main things. 1, are you getting into a lot of conversations? The answer is no, then boom, there's your problem. You're not in enough conversations. So let's work on your posting, let's work on your messaging, let's work on all of And then if they say yes, I'm in a lot of conversations, then I say, okay, then the problem is with your wording and how you're sealing the deal. You're obviously not capable of sealing the deal, and that's the problem. And so something that Pam said, again, that really stuck out to me is Pam said, the more I say, the less they seem to be interested. And that is like the biggest like aha moment in my business is the more you say, the less they're interested. Don't answer anything that hasn't been asked. Keep your answers short and simple. Keep that mystery. You don't have to give them all the information. If they say to me, well, how, it's like early on in the conversation, they say to me, well, how would I get started? I don't talk about the $99 yet. Most people know that this kind of opportunity costs money. So the first thing I say is, oh my gosh, it's so simple to get started. I would just walk you right through my website. It takes about 15 minutes, and then we would get you on the ground and running. That's it. I didn't have to tell them about the 99. I didn't have to tell them about auto shipping yet. I want to keep them on the hook, and I want to keep them talking. And then don't underestimate the power of your story, especially as presidentials. Like we make more money than a lot of people make. You know, that's incredible. That's impressive. Like boom, we have a proven track record. We have a proven success record. So use your story. Use what this business has done for you. So that's my hook. Like when people say, tell me more about this business, I say, can I tell you my story? That's the first thing I do because my story is what's going to get them invested in me. I'm going to be able to relate to them. I'm going to be vulnerable and all of that. So anyway, I feel like I'm getting super long, and I know like I really want to hear from everybody else. So.
Okay, so Claire literally took like everything that I was going to say, which is awesome. But I just wanted to say one thing. So I'm really big on stories too. Actually, Eliana taught me that. She's on my team. But if you tell your story, you can relate to a lot of people. And if you say it in different ways, then it can relate to different people. And so that's what I've realized. But I also want to say, what, baby?
Baby's in timeout.
Okay, he's in timeout. Okay, so my leader actually, she told me at one point I was just doing the steps, and I guess I was okay with that. I was comfortable with it. But she's like, if you're comfortable with just doing the steps, like if you're happy with just doing that, then that's all you're going to work for, and that's all you'll ever be. So she says, just dream bigger. Like if you want to enroll 10, then go out and enroll 10. Like you can do it. You just have to tell yourself that you can do it. Don't be comfortable with just doing the steps. So when I complete like 1 step to success, which is at least 2 weeks into the month, I'm like, okay, I got to go for another one. You know, it's been a really long time when I just completed the steps. But when I did that, I was like really upset at myself. I know that the steps are there for a reason, but for me, to feel successful, to feel like I'm doing something, I have to do at least 2 steps every single month. So if you're okay with doing the steps, then that's all you'll ever do. But I'm really big on Instagram, but like Lachelle said, I actually try to get them to my Facebook as well because it's more personable, it's more, you can see who they are and their story and all of that. But when I'm talking to somebody and they kind of ask me what it is, I, again, like Claire said, I tell my story. And now that I am a single mom, 5 days of the week, I have my kids all day long, which is crazy. And people say that they don't have time. I feel like I can relate to a lot of people that way by just telling my story. And then they kind of know that I'm a real person. And when you relate to somebody, they kind of gain trust in you, and they'll believe you, and they will want to work with you. But that's really all I have to say because Claire took everything else. But
No.
yeah, so.
Who's next? Elena? I do have a question though for you, Claire, and kind of everybody that tells a story. So I was typing out, but this is just easier. So why I like started to look for specific people, kind of like either like single or like girlfriends that didn't have kids, is because I felt like my story never inspired moms. Like I would tell it to moms and they'd be like, cool, like you're a stay-at-home girlfriend and you're just really extremely sarcastic. And so like I felt like they never like related to me. Like do you feel like when you tell your story to people, do you tell it when you say you tell it differently, like obviously you could tell it to a mom and like she would feel it, But like, what about a Lachelle that has no kids? Like, how would you tell your story? Does that make sense?
I definitely I pick up on clues from our first like the first couple things that they say to me, like they might say that they're skeptical, or they might or I'll go to their profile and just look into them, and then I talk to them based on what they're like. I really firmly believe that being successful in this business as a leader and as a recruiter comes down to being all things to all people. And so I really focus on if I was talking to you, I would spin my story just more that I wanted more freedom of time. I wanted more options financially. I wanted to be able to live in it. I would talk way less about my kids and way less about retiring my spouse, and more about how I just wanted freedom of time and I didn't want to have to go to work. And so not that I'm lying or changing my story, I'm just focusing on different motivations when I'm talking to different people.
Okay, makes sense. Gracias. Elena, go for it, girlfriend.
Hey guys. All right. So, is this just I don't have a question or anything like that. This is just me talking, basically. Okay. All right, guys. So, as far as signing distributors, my biggest thing for me is Instagram. I personally don't like Facebook. I still don't even understand it. So I just basically took on Instagram, and that's where I get basically 99.9% of all my potentials. People still contact me on Facebook and everything, but I don't really pay attention to my Facebook as much, unless I'm on my team page. Of course, everything I post on Instagram, I always post on Facebook no matter what, because I always want to make sure it looks, the same. I just don't really interact on my Facebook because, same thing, like you guys said, focus on where you're, put your focus where you're good at. And so for me, it's Instagram, and that's where I spend a lot of my time at. Now, I do use a lot of hashtags. I am public. I'm pretty big on hashtags. That's actually how I find, or how people find me a lot of the times, and definitely not hashtagging anything about it works or anything like that. Always, thinking outside the box. And let's see. For me, pictures are super important, guys. Obviously one good quality picture is so much better than a bunch of crappy, blurry, very it works kind of graphic-y stuff. So I just rather take one good picture, and if I post it a few times, maybe I'll delete it, post it again, a few weeks later, whatever. But pictures are super important for me. My fiance and I we're a team together, so he helps me a lot with content, and he'll do a lot of the editing and pictures for me and stuff. And we do a lot of the lifestyle pictures. So I feel like that's what has made me so successful. A lot of the, taking pictures, whether you're working at the beach or whether you're working in your backyard or in your bed or whatever, but showing people that you can work from anywhere. I'll have him take me pictures. We'll be at the grocery store, or just Walmart. I'll be like, babe, take me a picture right now while I have my cart full of stuff and I'm on the phone. And legit, I really am on the phone. I will be on Voxer with my team, or I'll be, voice messaging somebody. A potential or a distributor or whatever. So I want to show people that you can work from anywhere. And that's what we always like to do on our Instagram. So I like to tell my team, pick something that you love. That way you can mix in with your life. So I'm not a mom. I don't have kids yet or anything. So I'm a dog mom. I put a lot of my dogs on Instagram, and a lot of the pictures are my fiance and I. Just super in love, so we're always taking pictures and just always, sharing my love for him. But besides that, I travel a lot. So a lot of my pictures are about traveling and places I've been, or I just got back from Jamaica actually yesterday night or the day before. So I will always put my travel pictures there. And I will put my story along with it with a lot of those. Or for example, since I travel a lot, I save a lot of those pictures. And so when we travel, we usually set one day off just for pictures. So when we were in Jamaica, we'll do our excursions or things and everything, but then we'll grab a few outfits and we'll just, the picture day. And he has a really nice camera. We'll go take a few pictures, and usually those are going to be the ones for your story, or you want a nice selfie or something to talk about business or whatever. So, or our story together or something like that. So usually I have those saved up, and I'll just post them throughout different months and weeks. And let's see, editing. I'm pretty big on that. I love editing. I love things to look pretty good and crispy. So Pick Tap Go, I know you guys know a lot about that one. That one's my favorite. The beautifying app, there's one called, let me see. It's called Beauty Plus. So those are the ones I use, guys. And then I love Fonto because that's the picture overlaying. So I love posting like, I just got a not a new distributor, but where it says that you just got a new distributor on your email. And I usually say something like, I just helped like a new mom, get her business started or something like that. And so it shows people that people are joining your team, people are, getting your products, things like that, and that excitement. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to like keep track of like the chat thing, but I'm not even sure. I feel like if you guys have a question, I would just rather you guys unmute yourself and just say whatever you want to say. Okay, now the power in numbers, that's really big, guys. So I do consider myself a mass enroller. In January, I enrolled my highest, which was 42 distributors. But the thing is that I was talking to over 400 people, and that is no joke. So I'm pretty OCD too, just like Lachelle. I have my list, and I literally have, let me see if I can pull something up. Caesar, my fiance, we just said, okay, there's so many people, and how the heck am I supposed to keep track of all that? So anyway, he created these lists, and for example, okay, this is one of them, 2016. So I had to transfer all of my potentials over to these lists, and basically it just says name, Instagram, Facebook, phone number, and then the notes. I usually put like a note like, okay, when they're ready to sign up or something. All of these are mainly Instagram, sometimes Facebook, but my main goal is I want to get their phone number, because my DM is full of messages, but if something gets deleted on their end, like they just deleted me, then it also gets deleted on my end. So I'm very careful about that stuff. I want to make sure that I grab their phone number, and I usually say like, hey girl, let's keep in touch. What's your phone number? So I could save it or whatever. That way, if they, for whatever reason, changed their Instagram name, deleted it, or, I don't know, deleted our conversation, I still have their phone number so I could follow up with them. So usually my day goes like, I'll just grab a follow-up list and we'll just follow up together, my fiance and I. Like I said, he's been, I brought him home about 5 months ago. So we just kind of created like this little routine of ours. So I'm basically the one that he DMs, like, how do I say it? So everybody that likes my pictures, he'll go DM them and he'll say something like, hey girl, thank you so much for showing love on my post. Would you be interested in learning more about the products or the business? That's always what I say. I know some people usually say, or were you just showing some love? I don't give them the option of saying, no, thanks, I was just showing some love. I always say, are you interested in learning about the products or the business? It is going to be one or the other. And then after that, once they say yes for the business, yes for the product, they go on one of my potential lists, whether it's for potential LCs or potential DTs, and then we'll just start conversating about, why they're interested or what products they're interested or whatever. And so once they're on a list, Caesar will go and follow up with all of them, and then I answer everybody. And then he's also in charge of all the growing my Instagram. So in just like 2.5 months, he brought me from 6,300 all the way up to 9,800. And what he did, guys, was he used the Cleaner app. So he followed about, this is like his area, but I think he says he follows about 200 to 300 people a day. But he also unfollows 200 to 300 people a day. Now, when he follows these girls, we are definitely liking and commenting, liking 3 pictures and commenting on 3 other pictures, because I want to make sure that they see me. Because a lot of these girls too, they're girls with a lot of followers, and so I want to make sure I stand out in their notifications. And so usually what happens is they'll go and like back, they'll comment back, and then they follow me back or for whatever. And then for like in the next few days, I'll get a message from them. Now let's see. Let's see. About finding, okay, so when I'm talking to potential distributors, I love to find out like why they're hesitant or like their fears, what's holding them back. And I just basically like walk them across that bridge, because A lot of these people are, they think that they're not salespeople. They don't have friends. They don't know how to, they don't have social medias or whatever. They will they have a million things to do, or they have school or kids or whatever. And so I always try to walk them through that bridge and always make them feel comfortable. One of my biggest things is I tell them all the time, like, I'm going to be here for you every step of the way, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to be successful. And so a lot of the times I will get them on the phone or on text or on a voice message, but I usually like to keep everything DM, like just Instagram, until they're almost ready to sign, and then I put them on my phone. And then I also create this other list of mine, so when they're ready to sign up, I send them the steps, like my website and the steps to sign up and everything, and so they go on this other list where it's called like ready to sign list. And I know I've sent all the steps to all these people, and I just highlight everybody that have already signed. And then the ones that they didn't sign for whatever reason, then I'll be like, hey girl, did you go get, were you able to get your business kit? What happened? Talk to me, whatever. And then I never mention the $20 website or the auto ship because I just send them my website and I know they can read. And so they will always ask me about it. And then when they ask me, I will voice message them, or I'll call them or text them about it. But I never really have a problem with those things. Now, let's see. Okay, so my story. That's a really big one, guys. Like, I believe that's how I'm able to sign so many distributors. I post my story in so many different ways using a bunch of different pictures, or just even, for example, like Stacy and I'll post a picture of her and I, or her and I with our leader, and we'll talk about, our stories together. So, because we're always together and stuff like that. So I'm always posting my story no matter what, in just different ways. And then one of my biggest things, guys, and my biggest tip, like overall, if you take anything, it should be this. It's emotion. That is like my main thing. If you can make people feel something through your post, you got them, okay? Whether it's, product or potential distributors, whatever, you need to have emotion in all of your posts. And I mean, that could be good with like, the past, present, and the future kind of post, before it works, this is how life was, and then now, and then whatever. So emotion is so big. I tell my team all the time. Self-development, of course, that's like, I'm pretty big on that. Usually I wake up in the mornings, I literally pop up, Joel Osteen video or something motivational while I'm showering. People that tell me I don't have time for that or whatever, it's usually like, you have time to go drive to work or drive your kids to school or whatever. So make your school be your car, your radio, you can pop a video there. And what else? I don't recruit specific people or anything like that, guys. Everybody that comes to me, they're all welcome, because you just never know. Sometimes I've had people like, I'm like, oh, I don't know how she's going to do. And next thing you know, she's my biggest rock star. Okay, so I don't even take a look. I just like, whatever, if you want to come to my team, that's cool, let's do this. I will train you, I'll teach you, but I definitely don't look for a specific type of a person. I love to follow moms and girls, college students in general, but it's so crazy because I'm not a mom. But my entire team is basically all moms. Like, there's very, very few people that are like single girls, like me, like single, no kids or whatever. They're all moms. So I don't know why, but it works. And another thing I like to do is I like to post about my girls. I love to post about my team that are stay-at-home moms. So I'll use a picture of them, or I'll take a picture with them, and I'll say, meet my boss babes or whatever, and how they're stay-at-home moms, and I'll talk a little bit about each story, and that way other moms are able to relate through them and then join my team as well. So that's pretty much all I have, guys.
How do you train? So, like, do you have a boot camp page? How do you train? Because 42 people, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it gets really overwhelming. Like, I would say it's awesome and all to sign a lot of people, but like, it's also very, it's like, you just don't have the time to give to every single person that you wish you would, But I do have my team page where I have my videos And they just, I basically tag them on our how to get started video. And usually what that has is, filling out your tax form, ADBV auto ship, explaining how that goes, and your adventure post. So right away I tell them, go post your adventure post. Your adventure post should always be something that comes from the bottom of your heart. Why you joined. Always has to be like something personal, because if I see like one of my girls, when she joined, she put like, just started at work, here, buy some wraps for $25 each or whatever. I said, go take that down right away. I want you to put something about your story, what made you join, something, personal. And she's like, oh my gosh, my story is too sad. Like, I can't talk about it. I'm gonna be crying, whatever. I'm like, well, then that's what you need to talk about. Like, people relate to other people's struggles, and, you gotta be real with people. So that's my main thing, like posting your adventure post at first. And then right after that, I tell them to go post, about a product, or, finding like a few product testers or anything like that. Usually it's 4 different pictures, whether it's stretch mark, cream, wraps, or whatever. They usually can pick whichever one they want. And then they just kind of get the hang of it, and they just start saying, posting like we all normally do. And then I tell them, all your first conversations, let me know. I'm going to help you close them. And so that way they feel comfortable with me. And so once they get their first, win, their first DT, first LC, then they're good to go. I think they're good to go. They know how to close them. We do have a potential loyal customer script and a potential distributor script, just with like different questions like, how does this work? Or how do you get paid? Things like that. That way they know that everything is to keep it very simple. But I tell my team, like, extremely simple. Like, keep it so simple. The less you say, the better. And we're pretty big on that, and not answering questions that have never been asked. So that's how I train my team. I do train them a lot on as far as like Instagram and content and photo editing and, follow, liking, commenting, basically everything I said. But that's basically that. And then I also have this other sheet where obviously I keep track of all of my distributors, because then I'll go insane. Let me see if I can find it. But usually it says like distributor, their deadline for fast start bonuses. And okay, here's one. So here's like a February. So it says new distributor, their deadline for fast start bonuses. If they have an ADBV auto ship set up, if they did their adventure post, if they did their first product post, if they got their 4 LCs, and then the last one is if they know about the 400 Club and the steps to success. So that's how I keep track of things. And then usually I'll hand over the list to my fiance, and then he'll check off everybody that, when their fast start deadline is and all that stuff. But that's pretty much it, guys.
Do you communicate with them through your Facebook, or do you like make an introduction for him to communicate with them?
No, I don't have him talk to any of my team. He is basically me on Instagram. He will message a lot of people about, when they like my posts and things like that. And he will also answer them, because he knows pretty much how I talk now and what to say. I give him like, how to answer if they want to know about the business, or how to answer if they want to know about a product or whatever. And so once they're ready to sign up, he hands them over to me, and then I'll sign them up and things like that. Or if I'm not too busy, then I'll go and answer everybody on my DM. But usually I like to be hands-on with my team a lot. I love to just, get on Zooms or gather up with them and work on their charts. I'll grab a little diamond team, and I'll work with the emerald and the rubies and things like that. And we'll always get together for a game plan at the beginning of the month, find out how many distributors you need, and then we'll just, attack everything with volume towards the end of the month, or towards the 15th and on.
One more question, then I'm done.
No, you're fine. You guys can ask me anything.
How soon? So, I'm just thinking numbers wise, like 42 people, that is like amazing. 32 people is amazing. So how long do you wait to introduce them to their sponsor?
Ooh, that's been a hard one. So let's see. I've had some really good and some bad experiences in the past. So, there's within building for my presidential and stuff, I remember I posted this on the other page. I forget what it's called. The one that Dana has, but anyway, I'm sorry. Oh, the push for presidential, I think it was. And it was talking about how I had built like 3 diamonds, and they quit right before they went diamond. And one of those was because I had introduced everybody to everybody, and I will never again do that. So I won't introduce people until I fully trust them. And because I build so fast, it's really hard for me to like introduce you to your team and all that because you're just so new, and one bad apple can ruin a lot of things. So like one bad apple actually took one of my entire diamonds apart. And so it was a horrible experience, and I never want to do that again. So what I've talked to my leader about this actually, because I start getting really overwhelmed after like 15 distributors. So 42 and 32 was just, it's insane. So what she said was like, okay, after 15 distributors, how about you start, giving some DTs to your top leaders in your team? And that way, they can take over, they can train them, they're good, they're good to go. And I said, you know what, that's an amazing idea. And at the same time, I'm still building for ambassador. So I've been doing that, and one of my strongest girls, the one that just recently went triple diamond, she is like an amazing leader. That's like her biggest strength. Like she's just freaking awesome. So I know that when I give her some of my DTs, like I can fully trust her with everything. She has literally, like, they've become such good friends. She's just amazing. I need tips from her, honestly. But she will help them, she'll walk them through the conversations. She's helped them get their first 4 LCs and more, their first DTs. She's gotten a lot of my girls charted with them signing their own people. And so it's been amazing. And of course they know that they can always come to me as well. But I always tell them, like, okay, this is your diamond leader. This is your double diamond leader, whatever. You guys can always go to her too. But other than that, I do have to do a lot of it myself. And then this is why Caesar and I created this, basically like this routine. Like, I'm going to handle my team. I'm going to handle a lot of that, the back end kind of stuff and the training and all that, while he handles our front end of the business, which is the following up, the making sure everything looks good, the liking, the commenting, the growing the Instagram followers, all that stuff. So now keep in mind, for 3 years I did this all by myself. So you don't necessarily need your man or your significant other or whatever, but it's just that we found this awesome routine ever since I brought him home about 5 months ago. And that is why I have been able to enroll so many. And that's how my followers have grown so much. So that's basically it, guys.
Can I ask you a question real quick too?
Yeah, of course.
And actually, I think someone was asking it over here, but you have some stuff that you're talking about, like with your Instagram, things, or the first posts, and I actually wrote it down. Your adventure post, your first product post, your success when you're like helping a new distributor launch. Do you have that stuff where you can like post it in the Almost Ambassador page where we could actually look through it?
What kind of stuff?
Well, just kind of like what you tell them to, like how you launch a new distributor. I think I lack in that area. I'm kind of like, hey, go post this real quick. And I just tell them what the first post should be. I never even have them do an adventure post. And I think I'm just lacking in that area. So I wondered if you had like an example of what you do.
So I usually do videos. I don't really like write things or post like things like written like that.
Yeah.
What it is, it's a video of my fiance and I, and we're just basically saying like, hey, welcome to our team. We're so blessed to have you on our team. And then I say, these are the steps to getting started. And then I say, oh gosh, what is it? I always go tag them there because I knew I was about to enroll so many of them, and I was not about to like do this over and over and over. So we just created this video, and it says, it basically just talks about the ADBV auto ship, going to your eSuite and making sure that you do your tax form. I tell them about our team page and our leaders team page. I tell them about our Monday night trainings in that video. And then I also tell them about doing their adventure post. Like, okay, I'm just going to play a little bit of it just so you guys see what I mean. But that's basically what's helped. So if you want to just make a video for your team like that, it'll be so much easier.
My name is Caesar, and this is Rocco.
We always like to keep this funny.
We are so excited and blessed to have every single one of you on our team. And Team Unstoppable is our team page where you guys can interact, ask questions, and yeah, guys, you want to use that.
Hold on.
Voxer too, so that you can
Voxer
with Voxer. You can use it on your own, and you can, share your own results, and then your business will move. Or you can actually sell.
Okay. So then I tell them about the ADBV auto ship, ordering the 2 to 3 products a month, and making sure that you're a product of the product. That way you can show your own results. and that's how you're able to grow your business. I tell them to make sure they download Zoom for their for our Zoom trainings, and then Voxer. That's how I communicate with my team, guys. Voxer is so big for me because it's just like a walkie-talkie app, and I rather do that than text or call or something. And then I have them right away contact me. So usually when I sign a distributor and I go tag them, I'm like, hey girl, this is how you get started. So then I know it's working because they come back to me. I say, okay, let me know when you're done. When they come back to me, they're like, okay, here's my Voxer. I already filled out my tax form. I did my ADBV auto ship, and here's my Zoom, and here's my Voxer ID. And I'll say, awesome, girl. And then they'll say, now I'm working on my adventure post. And then I'll get on Voxer with them, and I'll just be like, hey, girl, okay, how exciting. Let me know, when you're done with your adventure post, I'll go check it out. And then I'll go check it out. It looks great, whatever. Or if anything, if it's bad, I'll take it down or something like that. But in my video, I explain to them that it's all about emotion. And then I give them a little example. Like, hey, guys, I just started my business. And, I'm super excited to be able to accomplish X, Y, Z. And I did it for ABC, whatever it is. But I always tell them, no matter what, speak from the bottom of your heart. And then after that, once they're done with their adventure post, I go tag them on this other part in my team page where it just has like 4 different posts, guys. It has like a before and after stretch mark cream, before and after of like the wraps, my hair, skin, and nails results, and my It Works system results. And then I already have something there set up for them to talk about. Like, this is my friend Eliana. She used our hair vitamins for, 2 months, and these are her results. And then it usually says something like, I'm looking for 4 models that would like to, try our 90-day hair challenge for, our discount or whatever, something simple like that. And then they'll start posting that. And then I just talk about, making sure that your posts are not, it works. You want to put in between quotes, selfies, lifestyle, your daily life, or a product post versus a before and after, things like that. And then that's it. That's pretty much that. And then our team page is super active. So, there's questions, there's other types of videos, how to post, how to things like that. But it's basically all videos. Oh, and then I tag them, after that, I tag them on my loyal customer script and my distributor. No, not really my distributor script. I usually do my loyal customer script. And then I tell them about 4 loyal customers.
Do you have them do their adventure posts written or in a video form?
Written. So usually I tell them to get a selfie of them or a picture of their family or, just them and their kids or something. And I just have them type in whatever they want and then put it on Instagram and Facebook.
I have a quick question. Okay, you said when you're talking to like 400 people a day, do you mean like you're literally like messaging and texting those people, right? Is that what you meant by that? Or are you
just we counted our list and it was over, by the end of the month. So when I signed those 42 distributors, we had talked to over 400 people.
Okay, actually like conversating in a message form.
Yeah, it was a lot of them. So a lot of the times, guys, so 90% of the time I get messages. And this is one thing that I have to, with my team, it's been a little hard because they have to reach out to people, whereas with Caesar and I, my DMs, I usually get about 30 a day from people that want to be in the business. And so I'm constantly answering my stuff, and so I don't necessarily have time to reach out to people for the business. And I'm always working on my potential list of the people that have contacted me. But now we did do this thing where I think it was last month. It was last month in February. No, sorry, February, not March. I send out 100 messages to these, people that have liked my post, whether it was a before and after or a product, whatever. It was, even a selfie or anything in my Instagram. And I told them, hey girl, thank you for showing love on my page. Would you be interested in learning more about the products or the business? And I got out of 100 messages, because we literally sent out 100 and counting, I got 60 of them said yes to the business. A little bit of those said yes to the product, and then some just didn't reply. And so I said, oh my gosh, I need to be doing this more. And so that's what we've been doing a lot. And then our lists have grown a lot more than that. But we just spend time just basically answering everybody all the time. That's basically that.
Do you have that video on YouTube?
I don't have any videos on YouTube.
And how is that video kind of short?
Which video?
The video, like your introduction video with your boyfriend.
Oh, the one that it's is it? Wait, what did you say?
Like the original one, the one that you just played for us.
Oh, that's just like hey guys, welcome to the team. It's such a little bit honestly.
Like we can kind of like see it.
Oh, okay. You want to see it where?
No, can you post it on the Almost Ambassador page?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can post it.
It's a really great idea. We just kind of want to hear what content it has.
Yeah, no worries. It's super simple, guys. It's like the simplest video ever. But yeah, I will. I'll make sure to post it there. He should have it somewhere on his phone, so we'll post it there. But yeah, that's. I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm pretty simple, honestly. It's just our numbers. Like I literally we talk to, since it's the two of us, we talk to a lot of people together. And it's just, we will spend like a whole day because we don't have kids or anything like that. So like we will spend a whole day of work just messaging and answering and all that. And then, it'll pay off, guys, because we're on this mission of going to ambassador. And so we don't mind putting in those extra hours, and it just doesn't even feel like work.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add? Any questions for anyone?
Eliana, I just have to ask you to repeat that message. I know you just said it like 3 times, but when you said you sent out 100 messages, you said, "Hey girl, thanks for showing the love on my page." I love that because you're not just saying like one post, but "Hey girl, thanks for showing the love on my page." Do you say, "Are you interested in the products or the business?" That's literally how you word it.
I'm finding it right here. Let me see. Oh gosh, I got a new phone. This sucks. Okay. Okay, so it says it usually says like, "Hey girl," hold on. Love. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can try to find it. Okay, whatever. So yeah, something horrible happened during all those messages. My phone literally blew up. When we were sending a bunch of those messages like all day long, my phone just froze. It just froze. And everything got wiped out. Like I lost everything. And thankfully I was able to get a few things back or whatnot, but I had to get a new phone because of all those messages. I truly believe that's what blew up my phone. But so the message is, hey, it's usually, "Hey girl, thank you so much for the love you've shown on my page. Would you be interested in learning more about the products or the business?" So that's what I say. Now, if it's somebody that I know I want on my team, she's a mom, she's a stay-at-home mom, whatever, usually I'll add at the end, "I think you would be so amazing at this," especially because, being at home with your little baby girl. But that's like very, that's rare unless like I know like she's been watching me and she's totally a potential or whatever. But if it's like a bunch of random people, I always say what I just said. Did you get that, or you got it? Okay.
Say it one more time. I'm like literally writing it down.
No, you're fine. "Hey girl, thank you so much for the love you've shown on my page. Would you be interested in learning more about the products or the business?"
Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
So whenever you add that part at the end to someone who's a strong potential that you mentioned earlier, like, because you stayed home with your little girl or whatever, I worry about that because it doesn't end in a question. Is that something to where maybe they won't answer because you didn't end with a question, or do you actually end with a question and maybe you just didn't mention that part?
No, I don't ever end up with a question unless it's would you be interested in learning more about the products or the business? Usually I get a lot of responses like, "Yeah, I've been interested, just hesitant to message you. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've been watching you," or something like that. "I've always wanted to ask, I've wondered," and things like that. So I'm always like, "Oh my gosh, well, I'm glad I asked." But he's the one that likes to send that little message at the end, like, "I think you'd do amazing, especially with your baby boy," or whatever. I personally don't like it as much, but it has worked. I like to just end with the question, like, "Would you be interested in learning more about the products or the business?" Because I always like, "Yeah, I am." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what would you like to know about, the product or the business?" And then usually they'll say both, or the product or the business or whatever. And then we'll start talking about it. And that's basically that, guys. Nobody's going to sign up right away. It's just creating that, that relationship and talking about things and, learning what got them interested in the first place, if they've messaged me or even if they said yes after that question, and just walking them through that bridge, because everybody is going to be scared about something.
I love that. Does anybody else have anything? Maybe.
Hey, thank you guys so much, and thank you, Lachelle, for doing this for all of us. It's been super helpful for me, and I'm sure everybody else as well. Love it.
Good. Yeah, no, I love topics. So we just got to figure out what we want to talk about next week. But this is good. Something I just want to mention this because that little voice in my head is telling me to say it because she just reminded me of something. So we are all going to find people that have already talked to someone or are skeptical or like just skeptical in general or just kind of like having like maybe a hater chip on their shoulder or anything like that. And I want you this is just like a little like ending note. We always have to remember that like sometimes people don't understand. Like, and I just got done doing a training with my team about this, and so I just wanted to share, like, sometimes people don't see what we see. And so every single time I ever offer this opportunity, or if I have decided on someone, like before, like I already decided that I'm going to approach them, you know, a lot of people, I like praise, you know, I never know if I'm saying your name right. Is it Eliana?
Yes, Eliana.
So I praise your enrollments. That is absolutely amazing, okay? But like I work on the same people for a long time because if I've decided on them, if I already know, like sometimes they just don't see their own potential in themselves, like it's almost like a mission for me to change their mind and being like very strategic in that mission because I just feel like, here's the thing is like the people that are skeptical or the people that have been approached so many times, obviously, you know, a lot of people have seen the same potential that we do. And you guys just have to remember that to show them why, like show them how it's different, show it how, I just want to remind you guys that I know it's like, you guys probably already know this, but it was just like super, it was huge on my team when I did the training on it because I feel like so many times people just like give up as soon as they say no. Has everyone read the book, Go for No? If you have not read the book, Go for No, do it. It'll change your entire life. We did a book study last month on my team page, or maybe it was 2 months ago, and we all read Go for No. Guys, it'll change your entire business. Think about this, and this is what I'll just like leave it at because if you haven't read it, you absolutely have to read it. Think about when we were kids and when we asked our parents for candy, or maybe you're a mom and your son asks you for a piece of candy and you say no. Remember when we were younger, we asked our parents for candy and they said no? Did we get discouraged? Did we give up? Did we just be like, okay, fine? No. We kept asking and asking and asking until we got that piece of candy. And if you're a mom, your son or daughter is probably asking you for something, you're like, no. And then they just figure out another way to ask or a cute way to ask, or they do something to get it, whatever. But it's that tenacity to like not give up until you achieve it. So you guys should definitely read that book if you haven't. Okay. That's it. I just wanted to know that. Okay, guys.
There's two on Amazon. There's Go for No and then just Go for No for network marketing.
You haven't read this?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, I would think you of all people have read this book.
No, I'm going to order it though.
So do you have Audible?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, you can either one. So it's Go for No by, I think it's by two authors, and his first name might be Frederick or James.
There's Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz.
Yes.
But there's one for network marketing and then just one that looks like it's like the original.
So, okay, let me look really quick. You guys, it'll seriously change your entire life. Like, oh my God. It just puts you no's in a different perspective. Go for No. Yes is the destination. No is how to get you there.
Okay. So it's not, it's just like the original, not the network marketing one.
Yeah. I don't even see the network marketing one.
Awesome.
But is it like yellow and it has like a man?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Guys, it is seriously amazing. Like that's only like one example. I could just spark note the book for you right now because it's absolutely incredible. I've read it twice. But yeah, do it. Basically, Katie, all it is that like we just like pick, like I know not everybody likes to read self-development, you know, so we just every once in a while we just like decide on a book. Like this month we didn't do anything. So I think it might have been like 3 months ago. 3 months ago was Go for No. Then it was You're a Badass. And then the next one we just haven't like talked about doing it. We already decided. It's like called like Rhinoceros or something. Everybody says it's like really good. But so that one was the one we're probably gonna do next month. I don't know, it just depends when we do it.
like when you say book study, do you just say, hey team, we're all going to read this book together? Do you like have a Zoom to talk about it or like a thread to talk about it or something like that?
I got real lucky with listeners. So like, it's like, I have some leaders on my team, like, if we post like, hey, go read this book, everybody just goes and reads it. Like, it's just like, but we got real lucky with like listeners. So, but also like we'll create a thread. My team page is crazy psycho, like busy. It is like, people are just like crazy. And I it's so funny, Elena, like my team is so based on relationships. Like they get introduced to their sponsor within 24 hours. So a lot of people are just like always bouncing ideas off of each other, and we'll like create a go for no feed, and then like every Thursday we'll ask like, hey, like basically, I'm not always the one that makes the post, but it'd be like, read first chapter, read second chapter, read third chapter, what did you learn from it, kind of thing. And then we'll offer like, do you guys want to do a Zoom? And then we'll do a Zoom, and then like we'll get on a Zoom, and then they'll start talking about something, or we incorporate it into the trainings. We do that too, because we do weekly Zoom trainings. And so when we did Go for No, we literally were on that training for like 3 hours, and like 1 hour was just people like loving GoPro.
Wait, sorry, you introduced your people like 24 hours already, like within their, like to their sponsor? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, to their, yeah.
I work layered leadership so hard. I mean,
how is that working for you? Because I don't, so I just saw in the little chat, no, I don't put my newbies in a group chat or anything like that. I usually work really one-on-one with my team, especially like when it comes to promotion, like with promoting time. Basically, I worked with my entire charts for presidential, and just every day working with them, and making sure communication with me is really big. So communication on my team is key. However, I don't do that. So how's that working out for you?
Okay, so let me do math here really quick. Does anyone know off of their head how many people are on a presidential chart? Anyone?
No.
I think it's like 700, right? Or like 716 or something weird.
Oh no, I would go crazy. I don't know. Oh, 191, somebody said.
Oh, I thought there was way more.
Oh no, they can't. No, I don't think so.
What? What do you mean? There's no way. There's 24 people in a diamond. For press, there's a triple diamond, a double, and 2 diamonds.
Yeah, Tammy said 191 for presidential.
Anyways.
Actually, you want to know what's funny is that one.
What?
What?
Yeah, how many boxes?
Cam told Sarah that there were 920.
That's what I thought. I have a point to this. Sorry, I'm not trying to waste any time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe she is right, 191. Okay, so the way I look at it is this. Okay, so when I enroll someone, this is a place. So I just work my team a little differently than everybody else. Maybe you guys have heard about it before. I have downline chats. I have literally right now I have 26. Every single time anyone is boxed for Diamond, I create a chat for them. And it's like Diamond Society, Diamond Elite, Diamond Dreamers, Diamond Divas, whatever. So I am really big on layered leadership because my retention rate on my team is super, super high, guys. Even Rachel Jones is a part of my upline, and she's even me and her have just done one-on-one trainings about retention because she doesn't understand, people just don't quit a lot on my team. I still have people, almost my entire diamond chart is still with me. So what I realized, since I am kind of OCD, is in the beginning, and I did not do this until probably when I went double diamond because I was losing my mind, is that I wasn't introducing to people, and I was taking on all of the responsibility. And I am super, super hands-on with everyone. Every single person that I enroll, I'm super, super hands-on. And so when I needed to incorporate layered leadership, Alyssa Bilyeu is actually the one that taught me how to do layered leadership, and it completely changed my stress levels. We could start having sexy time because I never had time to do anything, I swear. So it's basically this, when I enroll somebody, I explain to them immediately there's going to be somebody else helping me mentor you, and I'm going to introduce you to them in 24 hours. It is a helping hand. It's a good thing. All right. You want more than one person. And I just basically just blatantly say it like that. And then I have a checklist. Didn't I upload the checklist I have to the ambassador page? Yeah. Okay. So I mean, on my checklist, I just go in that order. So it's in the files tab if you didn't see it. And it's literally introduction. So enrolled, name, ID number, intro, and then right after they do their introduction, all right, on Facebook, kind of like your adventure post, I introduce them to their sponsor immediately. So I before I put them into the group message, what I do is like, okay, so I have a business agreement that I send to every single sponsor. If I'm going to place underneath of you, you have to match me, or your sponsor has to match me. So it's either them or their sponsor. One of the people on the lake have to match me. So I send them a business agreement. I'm going to tell you right now, it's already on the ambassador push page if you haven't seen it. I have had people say no. This is why I have to be in communication with placement, because I really do have people that just want to make $200 a month. I have this woman that went to Harvard that's on my team. She literally wants to make $200 a month. That's it. And so I asked her if I could place underneath of her, because I'm like, oh my God, Harvard, like, you know a bunch of rich people, like, oh my God, she's going to be my next ambassador diamond. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want any of that responsibility. I just want $200. So I always ask them first, do you want this responsibility? If they say no, or if they say maybe, I don't place underneath of them. I need a for sure yes. I need a leadership yes. So when they say absolutely, I'm like, okay, listen, I'm going to introduce you in 24 hours. Get ready. So I make that introduction, and then I go to their sponsor and I say, okay, listen, I'm going to be placing under her. I've already given her the business agreement, because obviously if there's someone underneath of her that I place underneath of her, she's already also got the business agreement. One of you need to match me within 72 hours. Then I just add her to the sponsor chat that I just got done talking about the business agreement. I'm like, okay, do you guys understand? I'm going to be placing under you. This is going to be, and I explain what the legs are or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm going to introduce you first and then you next. All right. So I literally just create a new message, and I will add my new distributor and their sponsor to that message. I'm like, hey girl, this is Natalie. She's going to be helping you. I want you guys to exchange numbers right now so that, you know, you're always in communication with her. If you can never get a hold of me, you can get a hold of her. Then they'll be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then I add the next sponsor up to the chat. And I'm like, okay, also, this is Natalie's sponsor. She is always here for Natalie too. I want you to get to know her a little bit more, because we work really big on layered leadership. So now I have them. Then I'll message my person. This thing sounds so complicated, but this like takes me, I'm not even kidding you, like 5 minutes. So and then I'll just be like, okay, girl, so I just introduced your sponsors. Make sure you get their numbers. And now I'm going to add you to your Team League chat. I put them in the Team League chat. I'm like, hey girl, this is where you can ask questions. This is where all the questions go, because questions are not allowed on my page. Anything posted to my page has to be beneficial to every single person. I can't look at what is BV, what's GV, and all these things on that page 10 times a month. No, that's what the chats are for. And then everybody's like, welcome, 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 welcome. And that's just how it works. But why I like that is because I have certain legs that I'm building. So like, I like to build diamonds very strategically. And if I talked about this before, I think, or on the push to press space, I talked about this. If I'm building a diamond, like I'm building a diamond right now, I'm only building one side, and they're responsible for the other side. Yeah, so that's just why. So it's like, they just take on responsibility with me. So we're all working together. If I have placed and not told people, that makes me really nervous to do that, because what if they quit? What if who you're placing underneath them, if you're placing underneath quits, then you have 2 extra legs. So I really like to be very open with communication.
Wait, hold on. What did you just say right now? If you place what?
Like what if you, because I have had, so I double diamond, she wasn't double diamond, which she was ruby, she quit, but now she's F-word box for double diamond, because 2 of her legs are still going. So when you place, if you're not telling people that you're placing, what if like you build a ruby and the ruby leg quits? Then you have like 2.
Well, I mean, it's not like I never tell them. Oh. I just don't tell them within 24 hours, because the thing is that with enrolling a lot, I build pretty fast, but like, I end up building, like, you could literally build a ruby in like a day, and then it's just, how do you introduce all those people to each other? because they're brand new, you know. But I know what you mean, though. You know, because of what if somebody quits or something like that. It's always a constant battle with me with that subject. And that is why, like, it's been, you know, bad at, like, in the past, like the building those 3 diamonds that fell apart or whatever. But I don't know. I think, like, just, you know, like my leader says, the cream will always rise to the top. And those are the ones that I end up working with, those runners. But I do like your idea, though, of, like, your layered leadership, like introducing 24 hours, or, like, basically the asking, you know, do you want that responsibility? Because that is definitely huge. I would personally feel like they're brand new. They're already scared a little bit about joining. And if you give them a little bit of responsibility, they might freak out. But if it's working out for you, like, I'll try it.
Okay, so I have to add this. I can't believe I totally forgot about this. This is on, so if you guys wondering why we keep talking about Push to Press, I did a training just for the Push to Press team the other day, but I have to add this in there. So this is a huge part of recruiting, and Elena, this is something that would totally help you, okay? For me to go ambassador, I need 3 more diamonds, okay? Almost 3 more diamonds, basically 3 diamonds, okay? So I have right now 9 leadership spots. So when I'm recruiting right now, and I have a star in my ambassador chart for, it's every diamond, every emerald, and all the rubies, okay? The emeralds, rubies, I don't worry about right now, because I just want the 3, 3, and 3, like the 3 people that are leadership, okay? So something that I'm doing with right now, I have like stars next to like people that like I already see leadership in. Like you can just kind of like tell if they're an alpha. And I haven't done it yet this month because we're on this like anniversary trip, but like as soon as I go back, I'm gonna go really hard with it. I'm just continuing to interact. I'm continuing to communicate, but I am going to literally ask, and I have like 12 people because I'm just assuming that maybe 3 will say no, but it is, hey girl, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We've been talking back and forth for a while. I see so much potential in you, and I need to ask from 1 to 10, where do you think your leadership abilities are? And they'll answer me, and I'm going for that like 8 to 10 mark, okay? I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna be real with you again. I have a spot on my chart that is a leadership spot. You, as a leader, that's where the big checks come from, all right? So, and I've had a couple people in my upline tell me that I shouldn't be like this. I'm very open with placement. I'm very, very open with placement. And so I will be like, it is a placement spot, but I'm also a very serious person when it comes to this. And I'll be like, that does not mean you're just getting placed under. What I'm telling you is that you have the ability because of your network, blah, blah, blah. I want to put you in a diamond spot. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to say that. And it's backfired on me one time. I had to rebuild an emerald lake. And when you like, I think affirmations are really so strong. If you haven't read the 5 love languages, I apply that book to the women in this business on my team. What way do I have to love them? Like, what do you need? Physical touch? Like, what do you, not physical touch, but affirmations are truly so strong that when you are giving someone, I feel like we forget that people want responsibility, but like these people, like I have over 200 potentials, and these 12 people, I've literally looked at this, went to their profile, decided if they have leadership abilities or not. And so when I offer this to them, they already know what to expect. And here's what happened. All right. The 2 diamonds that I needed to go press was Latavia and not Latavia, Brittany Lalonde and Danica. They both went diamond in 60 days, and it's from this message that I sent them. And you guys probably want the message. These are voice messages. I could write it down though. I could go back and figure it out and write it down. And here's the thing. I think I messaged like 4 people about this, and they joined and they went diamond in 60 days. I gave them leadership responsibility. I introduced them to placement before they even signed up. This is all before they signed up. And I told them, do you want to be a diamond? And here's the thing. These 2 girls, I didn't even know. I went to college with Danica, but I haven't talked to her in 5 years. And Brittany, I'd never met before. And biggest hustlers, holy shit. Because when you give somebody leadership responsibility and you tell them like, hey, you're about to earn a $10,000 bonus, and I'm going to help you get there, and I'm going to work this side, you're going to work this side, it just has worked. It just has worked. And that's why I didn't leave my house last month, so I just haven't sent the messages out because I need to go home and do this. But I don't think that it's bad to give people to just tell them straight at the bat. Like, and I like to ask people, especially if I'm putting anybody in a Ruby box or if I'm putting anybody in an Emerald box, when I sign them up, you can kind of also see like drive when somebody signs up. Like I have a checklist that I want them to complete, and if they just fucking like go through that checklist, I'm like, whoa, you're a doer. Okay, so how do you feel about leadership? And I want to hear how they feel about leadership, because if they say something that yes, or I'm already a fucking sorry guys, if I'm already a coach or whatever, then I'm like, okay, let's go. Run with your runners, walk with your walkers, sit with your sitters. But you don't know who's going to run if you don't ask them if they want to. Yeah. Brandy, the checklist is in the group already. I can totally write that down. Yeah. Yeah. But, and here's the thing too, in my business agreement, and it's already on the page, like when I introduce somebody to their sponsor, like they have to talk to them every single day. Like I'll lose my shit. My team also knows that like I'll lose my shit. But like they have to talk to them every single day. Like, period. You guys laughing at me?
You crack me up, but yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I'm going to try that.
Try it. And pick people. You just got to be strategic, because when you're starting to build a new leg, like that person, that diamond spot, it can't be a kinda. It can't be like she kinda wants this. It means that she wants this. You got to be very strategic with your credentials. Like, I mean, that's just how, that's it. That's all I got. I just broke a nail. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? Sorry, this one.
Those are awesome. Thank you.
Okay, love you guys. I'm gonna post this to the team page. Yeah, maybe I was actually thinking about this. I didn't know if this was gonna go really long or not. Maybe next week we could talk about maybe people that enroll a lot of customers. Maybe. I could maybe we can even get Autumn on here, Claire. Dude, Autumn, guys, Autumn enrolled 73 customers in 2 weeks. She's crazy. Okay, so yeah, we'll figure it out. I gotta go. Bye, guys. I'll post a recording. Bye.
Bye.